What happens to your wealth if your spouse remarries or if you want to support them but still control who ultimately inherits everything you built? That's exactly where a QTIP trust comes in. A QTIP trust, or Qualified Terminable Interest Property Trust, is an estate planning tool that lets you provide income to your surviving spouse for life while ensuring that the remaining assets go exactly where you want after their death. Here's exactly how the process works. When the trust is created, usually through a will or revocable living trust, the grantor sets the rules, how assets are managed, how income is distributed to the surviving spouse, and who the final beneficiaries will be. After the grantor passes away, assets like stocks, real estate, or investments are transferred into the trust. A trustee then manages those assets and ensures the surviving spouse receives income for life. In some cases, the spouse may also have limited access to the principal, depending on the trust terms. The key tax feature is the marital deduction. Under U.S. federal estate tax rules, still consistent in 2026, assets placed into a properly structured QTIP trust qualify for this deduction, meaning no estate tax is due at the first spouse's death. Instead, taxation is deferred until the surviving spouse passes away, when the trust assets are included in their taxable estate. After that, whatever remains in the trust goes to the final beneficiaries chosen by the original grantor, not the surviving spouse. This is especially important in blended families, where you may want to support your spouse, but still preserve inheritance for children from a prior relationship. Now, the benefits are significant. A QTIP trust provides lifetime financial support for a surviving spouse while still giving the grantor full control over the final inheritance structure. It helps prevent assets from being redirected if the surviving spouse remarries or changes their estate plan later in life. It also supports estate tax planning for larger estates, and it can help ensure a smoother, more predictable transfer of wealth across generations. In some cases, it can also offer limited asset protection, depending on state law and how the trust is structured. But there are important drawbacks. First is the loss of flexibility. Once established, especially after the grantor's death, the trust terms are generally irrevocable. The surviving spouse must follow the structure set by the original document. Second is limited access. The spouse typically receives income only, not full control of the assets, which can create financial constraints in certain situations. Third is cost and complexity. QTIP trusts require careful drafting and ongoing administration. Legal fees often range from several $1,000s and can increase significantly for complex estates. Trustee fees commonly range from about 0.5% to 2% of trust assets annually, plus accounting and administrative costs. There's also tax timing. While the estate tax is delayed at the first death, it is not eliminated. The surviving spouse's estate will still be responsible for taxes based on the trust value at their passing, subject to the exemption rules in effect at that time. Because of this, QTIP trusts tend to work best for larger or more complex estates, especially where blended family planning is involved or where control over final beneficiaries is a priority. For smaller estates or situations where simplicity is more important, other planning tools may be more appropriate. Ultimately, a QTIP trust is not just about tax planning, it's about balance, providing for the person you love while still protecting the legacy you intend to leave behind. Because the real question isn't whether you should support your spouse, it's how you ensure your life's work is preserved and passed on exactly the way you intended.